Thursday, May 4th. Welcome to the program. May the 4th be with you. Barry Funkhauser.
Oh, yeah, it is. Hey, may the 4th be with you. All
Super
right.
nerd day out there in comic book land. Once again, I want to welcome all you new people striving for content, looking for something to watch or listen to in the midst of this writer's strike. Could be over by now, but probably not. A lot of these last a long time. So,
I think this one's going to be longer than the last one that we had.
Yeah,
the last one was 100 days. 98 was 150 days, 158 days, something like that. I think this one's going to be like long. I'm thinking like this might break the record for the writer's strike.
Well, you know, the only ones that were holding out, Joe, was Netflix. That's the only company that is saying no to all these deals.
Wait, right now?
Mm-hmm. That's the one that was rumored to have been the only one holding out.
Oh, that's interesting. You know why they're holding out is because they have more reality and unscripted shows that don't use writers. Oh, and foreign productions than any of the other streaming services. So Netflix is actually in a better position to weather a strike than all these other people. But that just means that like the Disneys and the Amazons, those execs need to start hammering the Netflix exec to be like, man, you got to get your S in line and let's do this.
Yeah, well, I, for one, am going outside and seeing some shows in the midst of all this. Are you, Joe? Let's go outside, man. Let's go.
Yeah, we were just talking about that, and that's why we have Taylor on today, because on Saturday, May 6th, I'm going to wake up from my Cinco de Mayo hangover. I'm going to pull myself together, and I'm going to go all the way up to Thousand Oaks to go see Singular Nature.
Hey-o.
Hey, Hefty Chieftain's here now. Hey, Hefty.
Hey, how's it going, guys? How are you?
Now, what are you in the band? Are you the drummer, or I forget?
Oh, no, I'm the front man.
You're the guy that sings.
Yeah, well, we have three singers. We do like 3-part harmonies, and we switch on verses and things. But I play ukulele, guitar, and I sing and songwrite majority of the music. Mm-hmm.
The leader of the band, and I got to see you at Tarantula Brewing Company a while ago, and I was very shocked at the amount of people that showed up. Right in the end of the pandemic, you have quite the following that you've built up so far. Let's talk about your origin story, man. Where are you coming from there? Now, Ventura County is known for a lot of ska punk sounds and sounds of the beach, and I think Jack Johnson's from Oxnard or something like that. But
Santa Barbara, man. You went to Santa Barbara. Come on.
Same difference. So tell us about that.
Yeah. So, my origin story is I started playing music after my mother passed away. She passed away back in 2003. It was actually the 20th year anniversary of her death. Not to put a solemn tone on this conversation, but that's really what inspired me to start playing music. My dad bought me a bass that Christmas, and I started playing bass guitar. A few years later, I got into high school and I started falling in love with girls. So I was like, wow, all the guys who get girls play guitar and sing. So I guess I should probably start playing guitar and singing.
So that's why you're not a drummer, because the drummers don't get chicks. unless you're Phil Collins or Anderson .Paak. Those are the two, though.
He has the voice of an angel, though, so of course he gets chicks, Yeah,
exactly.
But yeah, so I mean, being a boy in high school, I was like, I'm not very good at anything, but I love playing music. So I started writing songs, and I kind of was a closet musician for a long time. I just would write a lot of music, compose a lot of material, and I built up all that material up until a point about 3.5 years ago, where me, Kristofero, my brother, and our good friend Georgy, we decided to form Singular Nature as a trio. And at that time, it was kind of an acoustic reggae island folk trio. But slowly it evolved. We added a drummer, and then we added our bass player, Matt, who's a longtime friend of mine that I've been playing music with since I was a kid. And then we started hitting the local music scene. Last year we played over 80 shows, and in the local Ventura County reggae scene. And we just started building up a lot of traction. We all have a lot of friends and a lot of friends that support our music. We always say it takes a village. When you're a band, it's the old School of Rock saying, just because you're not in the band doesn't mean you're not in the band. We have a lot of people that support us in that regard.
Band aids, that's what we call them.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're really lucky to have a supporting group of friends and family that, get the word out, get people to our shows, share our music. And, it's a journey being an artist, being a band, and we can't do it by ourselves. So I'd say, we write the music, we deliver the music, but when it comes to the brass tacks of it all, what really makes us a band is the people that love our music. So.
And you found like a niche in Ventura County, hitting up the breweries. You got the brewery scene going, and you're like the musical act at the breweries.
Yeah, I love the energy of a brewery. Everyone kind of comes there at the end of the week. We usually get booked on Fridays and Saturdays at breweries, and people go there to really get some R&R, decompress from the week. And I think people just want to see something special that kind of can take their breath away. I think people don't really expect that when they go to a brewery. And not to toot my own horn or a band's own horn, but I think that we can really deliver on that for people. So, and breweries are just such a lax environment. Everyone's drinking beer, having a good time, and friends and family come together at breweries. I think breweries are a special place. I love this trend that's been happening, not only in Ventura County, but in places all over the world where breweries are becoming, very important parts of, the consolidation of our society, I guess you could say. Naughty Pine Brewing is a great example of that. Brittany, she's a woman entrepreneur that opened Naughty Pine Brewing a few years ago. And I'd say from an artist supportive perspective, she's one of the most collaborative people I've ever met when it comes to, bringing artists, local artists, supporting them and bringing them into her brewery to help them get exposure. She's always willing to be a collaborator. There's other venues out there that are not so, in our corner, I feel like, from an artist perspective. So at the end of the day, this is work. If we're putting the work in to bring, sound and a vibe and energy to your venue, we want to be supported just as much as we're supporting that. So we're really excited to play at Naughty Pine this weekend. We've played there a few times. And I have a great relationship with Brittany. If you haven't gone already, to those listening, please go check out Naughty Pine Brewing in Westlake, California. It is an awesome.
It's an awesome place. I just think that like these breweries are kind of becoming like the new community centers. Like everyone got fractured and became like kind of homebound, especially in COVID. But with the internet and social media, people, I kind of feel like people don't go out and interact with their community as much anymore. And I think that the breweries are starting to like pick that back up and be the place where, it's a good meeting place. And then like having the bands come in, it does bring more of a sense of community in there. So I'm glad that they're stepping up and offering that to people.
Yeah. Really lucky that a lot of breweries realize that, live music is the difference, and just like you said, it's a place for the community to come together and for artists to express themselves and for the community to therefore support those artists. Because at the end of the day, we have messages that we're trying to spread. I always tell the band the two most important things in our band is one, the music. So obviously doing all the work to be great musicians, day in and day out, spending hours together, becoming the best musicians we can be. And the other part of that is spreading a positive message, sharing stories with people that can touch their hearts, that can, change their days, their weeks, even their month, that's what really is the most important thing to me is I want to go into a venue or go in front of a crowd of people, and I want people to feel something when they hear our music.
Yeah. And anytime you hear reggae music performed live, there's a certain vibe that happens. I remember when I saw you for the first time, I was at a brewery and the sun was still up and the sun started going down and the people started showing up. And these aren't like your typical people that you would see outside at a venue. These are people that are very, very excited to be there. And as soon as the band played, they played at 11. The volume was 11. And everybody loved it. And I, after coming out of COVID and seeing that, I was so inspired musically. I was like, oh my gosh, I got to keep you guys on my radar because you really know how to engage the audience. I mean, you can't go wrong with reggae. I mean, can you?
Good vibes, man.
Yeah, and I think it's just kind of a calling to where we are. Ventura County is known for the ocean. And, I think we get a lot of inspiration from a lot of acts that came out of this area as well. And just culminating all that into, just presenting that as just one act before people, I think is what we're trying to do. And from a reggae perspective, I'd say, reggae is really a foundation for us. We consider ourselves, we talk about it all the time. I think we have more relation to like bands like The Dead. Like we have a very jam band also aspect to our music as well. Like there'll be movements where we're in a reggae skank, and then we move into this whole psychedelic jam sesh that we're doing, and then we bounce back. There's a one drop, and then we're back into the skank. So any musicians out there listening will know what I'm talking about. But we're very genre blending band. We really say we're a reggae rock band because that's a baseline for us. But I think if people come out and check us out, they'll realize Singular Nature is much more than just a reggae band.
Yeah, you're a fun party band. Can we label you that? It's because reggae is just you're putting yourself in a box there. A party band, good band.
It's like an Oingo Boingo. It's like a Devo. It's like a band that you know what you're gonna get once you see them for the first time. But before you see them, you don't know what you're gonna get. But you're always impressed and surprised.
Yeah, absolutely. And that just brings us to that show you saw us bury was actually our EP release show at Tarantula Hill, and the EP is very well for us. For us at that point, that was the first music that we put out, and we worked with our producer Philly Landeros over at Ventura Recording Company in Oxnard, and he's been a great partner for us. He does a lot of live sound for us. And he's kind of like our fifth Beatle, I guess you could say. But he produced that EP, and we didn't really do all the things that we're doing now to promote this new single that we're releasing. But what we did is we wanted to put it out because we wanted to have music out there, specifically for obviously people who've already started following us and have seen our live shows, but also for potential venues to hear what we sound like, to have some groundwork. And be like, okay, these guys, this is who they are. Let's book them, So that EP, it's done great, but we're really hoping that the single gets a lot of traction based on, all the work we're doing from blog post submissions and things like that. So
you keep bringing up the single. Now, what is the new single and when is it coming out?
So we have a new single. It's called Little Waters. And that single will be releasing on May 18th. And if you haven't already, just going to give my little spot here. Go on ahead and follow us at Singular Nature and pre-save our single Little Waters. The link is in our bio on Instagram. It would help us out so much. And this is a really good feel-good song, great driving song, vacation song. I think people are good. People from all walks, not only reggae lovers, people who love jam band music, rock and roll are going to really enjoy this song that's coming out.
Joe, remember when we were talking to Regina Ferguson like a week ago, and we're talking about it being a single world now where you're doing albums, and as long as based on the what was she talking about, like the data, if you're engaging on a regular basis, then you get more eyeballs on it. There's a whole science experiment.
A whole science of data metrics and when you put your posts out and how you boost them and engage and all that. Yeah. No, I get it. But that's it. We are living in a singles world. People do a bunch of singles and compile them into an album and then release the album. It just works monetarily.
Yeah, that's kind of the recipe nowadays. I mean, I believe like we live in a microwave culture. now with social media. People really want something new. They want to know what's coming next. And if we worked for 3 years on an album and then just released an album, I think we'd be leaving a lot on the table as opposed to, putting out, giving people something of our product along the way and then dropping an album in 3 years, So, coming out with like 4 or 5 singles and then 3 years, 2 or 3 years after that, through that process, we release an album. It just builds traction. People want content, they want new content. Anytime there's anything new post, new reel, people come, give you traction. At the end of the day, social media likes that stuff.
Yeah, well, we figured it out with streaming. It's the Netflix where, the Netflix model that you drop everything all at once. And, Netflix found that, they get the drop, they get some traction for a week. And then you got like the Disney and the HBO model who just stuck with like the singular episode a week. And they found that they just received so much more traction because people continue to tune in for the 10-week season and they talk about it all the time, all 10 weeks. So it's the same thing. If you're like if you drop an album, yeah, you're going to get some feedback and, radio stations will talk about it for a week or two. But if you're dropping a single every couple weeks or every 3 weeks, you just stay in the conversation all the way through the summer and people keep talking about you and you get bigger and bigger. And I think that's what you want. I think that's how things have kind of shifted. Like everyone was excited, like, oh, album drop. Let's listen to it all. But now we're more into like the episodic type of releases again.
Yeah, so let me ask you a question now on the heels of that there. Hefty from Singular Nature. Do you consider yourself more of an onstage performer? What do you like more? What brings you more enjoyment? Is it performing or producing? Are you finding more enjoyment making the stuff or playing the stuff?
I would definitely say I'm more performer than producer. And that kind of leans into why we work with Philly, because Philly's really the producer. For me, live performing is everything to me. Being in front of the energy of a crowd, I call it's like this point of it's this point where you have the crowd in the palm of your hand. If you can get the crowd in the palm of your hand, there's no other feeling like in the world, where like everything that you do from a performance standpoint is just reciprocated. Yeah, I just think that there's nothing really like performing in front of people and feeling the energy of live performance. I do love the product when we finally record it, but I've said for a long time I feel like we're really a live band, more so that the energy of who we are, of what Singular Nature is, really comes through so much when you see us live. The recordings are great, and I love recording music. And obviously it's necessary for people to, people in Minnesota that don't live in Ventura County, if they want to know what Singular Nature is, they're going to have to listen to our music, But for me, I'm very much more a live performer. I believe I'm a storyteller. So I like to tell stories to people in public. And, that's definitely what I prefer more than anything.
Well, I think it also shows when you guys are on stage. It just looks like you're having so much fun. You're not just producers, like you're also fans of music. So, getting out there and just playing. That actually leads me to a question. I love asking this question because, everybody has like a music venue that they want to play. And you guys are doing like the brewing pub circuit right now. But, people are starting to figure out who you are. You're getting more fans. Soon you're going to be playing bigger venues. Now, if you could play any venue in the world, what venue would you choose?
Oh, well, that is a good question, man. I got to say it's Red Rocks.
Oh, in Colorado? It's like the one place I've never been, but my buddies are like huge jam band guys. So he's been out there to see like String Cheese Incident like a dozen times at least. He's gone out there and seen like, Jerry or Grateful Dead with Phil. He's seen Grateful Dead with John Mayer. He's been out to Red Rocks a lot. So that's like the one, man, it just looks like such a cool venue.
Yeah, I've actually never been there, but I've seen the venue, and it's just basically this. It's this natural amphitheater, and I just think with the Stones and the acoustics and the energy, it's yeah. There's no venue really like it in the world. I think also it'd be really cool to play like the Santa Barbara Bowl or the Greek. The outdoors. I love playing outdoors. That's
No, I'm like a big outdoor music venue guy. Like I mean, I went to Santa Barbara, so I have a affinity for the Santa Barbara Bowl. But man, I love the Greek. The Greek theater out here is just fantastic. A Ford Theater right off the 101 in the pass in Cahuenga Pass right there. That's also great. Like,
Mhm.
man, yeah, the outdoor theaters, I think that just like really speaks to your music as well. It's like people want to be outdoors and dancing and stuff, not like
Yeah, we're singular nature. We got to play in nature. Um,
exactly.
and I think Red Rocks is the epitome of that. Red Rocks is the epitome from people I've met along the way that have played it. Yeah, it's like I said, it's the pinnacle of outdoor venues. So I'd love to play Red Rock one day. Hopefully that day comes sooner.
Well, I just finished
I,
my tea, so I'm just going to give you a quick tea leaf reading here. And oh, the leaves are in your favor. You're going to be playing Red Rocks within a few years. I just have a feeling.
yeah, and I went there and saw
With Spearhead and Michael Frank.
I saw Dwight Yoakam there. I went there specifically for that, and yep, you're all right. You're all correct about that. There's stuff that you can't describe once you see it. That's great. That's a good venue.
Yeah. So, we just got to keep putting out these singles, and getting traction to us. We have a devoted fan base. Our following is very organic. I'd say people who follow us, they're not bots. They're people that have seen us play music live in front of them. And I think quality over quantity is the most important thing in this game. You want quality people that love your music, and because they'll go to bat for you. So that's really what we're looking for. Just based on our name, or singular nature, we're organic band. We want an organic following. We want people to really love and buy into our message, because it's a good message. So
I love that. Okay. Well, I only have one more question. Unless, Joe, do you have any other questions?
No, I just want to
We covered
remind
it.
people that they can go and see Singular Nature at Naughty Pine Brewing Company in Westlake Village, California on Saturday, May 6th. And you know what? The price is a great price. Barry, what is the price?
Is it FREE? Oh, that's a
It's
great price.
FREE free. It's the best price available. You don't have to pay anything to see Singular Nature. Grab yourself a beer, help out the brewery a little bit, and get some great music. Okay. Now, Hefty, Barry's got I'm just gonna warn you. Barry's got a question for you here.
Well,
Now it's a little stressful, so don't freak out though, but
so
Barry,
before that,
go for it.
before that question.
Oh.
No, okay, I'll ask you the question now, and then I'll ask you about the single, the latest one we're about to play. Can we play it here, Little Waters? Can we premiere it at this point in time? It comes out 2 weeks later.
yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's premiere it.
Oh, that's so awesome. Okay, new music from Singular Nature coming up, but Hefty, would you rather get into a battle to the death with one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? A battle to the death.
Ooh, man, that is stressful. I think I could I think I could take the big duck. I think I could take the big duck.
duck? Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm taking the big duck, man. I think my wife rides horses, and even if they're the size of a duck, horses are strong, man. And there's 100 of them coming at me. That's what's 100 times four. That's 400 little hooves. They're just gonna jab into me, man. I don't know, man. I'm going the big duck. I think I could take the big duck and tame him.
Take your ukulele and just smash the big duck over the head.
No, I'll just sing him a nice song and I'll tame him, and then he'll be my steed.
You see, Joe, you never know what to expect the answer would be. It's always something different.
What was the last person? What did they say?
We had Paul Wexler on yesterday, and what did he say? He wanted
He went for 100 horse-sized duck-sized horses.
What was his method of attack? Just kick them all away?
No, we didn't ask him that. He was just afraid of the big guy, so didn't think he could take the big guy. So I'm in everybody's corner. So whatever the outcome. Okay, so tell us about this song here we're about to play. It's a brand new song from Singular Nature. They're playing Naughty Pine Brewing Company Saturday night. This is Little Waters. Now tell us about it, Hefty.
Little Waters is actually a really special song. So I wrote it about a year ago at this point. Me and my wife, we got married last May, and we decided we wanted to go to Jamaica. So we went to Negril, Jamaica. And the place we stayed at was this villa that was right on the west end over the cliffs. And the name of the villa was Little Waters. So we wrote this song. So we get there the first day, and you'll kind of feel this when you listen to the song. We get there the first day, and we were very kind of overwhelmed. This is Emmy's my wife's name. Emmy, this is her first time out of the country. She never traveled abroad, and it was a new place for me. I've never traveled to Jamaica either. So the first day we were there, we just kind of stayed in the villa and stayed in our room and just kind of relaxed. And we were honestly a little nervous and a little self-conscious to go outside, just because it was an unfamiliar place. And then the person that worked at the villa, because it was a full-service villa, we had like, a butler, a chef, and all that kind of stuff. But our guide at the villa said to us, she said, you need to just go out and explore Jamaica and understand that no matter where you go in this world, people will say things about you. They'll make fun of you. But as long as you have confidence in who you are, then you'll be just fine. You'll have a great time. So that day we wrote this song on the first day.
That's like the most epic little inspirational quote from a passerby that you could get, I think. Like, yeah, thanks a lot. Now here's some more towels.
Yeah. Honestly, she was awesome. Her name was Delkia. She just told us that. And then me and Emmy, we pondered on that. And the first day we were there, my wife helped me write this song. And I wrote a lot when I was in Jamaica. I really get into that space where I can really convey my thoughts effectively when I'm by myself or I'm with my wife, and, just in a beautiful place, just overlooking, the Caribbean in West Jamaica. The sunsets were amazing. And I wrote a lot of music out there, but this was the first song I wrote out there. And then when I got back from Jamaica, I got with the guys and I was like, hey, I wrote a couple songs. I want you guys to check out this song. And I'd say within 30 minutes of playing that song for them, Matt comes in with a bass line. Charlie comes in with his Ottawa, which you'll hear on that song, which is very like Grateful Dead, I feel like. And we kind of just put it together, very quickly. And the song just got a lot of synergy. And then our producer approached us and he was like, hey, we want to get you guys back in. We need to follow up this EP. What songs you guys have? And then I pitched us doing this song. And we ended up recording a few songs in the studio that day or during these following sessions. But of all the songs we recorded, we felt like this was the most ready to release. So this is Little Waters. I hope you enjoy.
Hefty Chieftain, everybody. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate you, brother.
Yo, 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 yo.